All right, I'm about to put y'all on. So this is a 18-page document from one of my indirect mentors. His name is Douglas Joseph, and he spent 20 years studying written law. He spent 20 years helping people register and claiming their names. So we're going to go through this document together, and y'all are going to learn some today. So this document is called Everything in Commerce is Fictional, and then it says including that legal name you always thought was you. So here he goes. Artificial person, legal definition. A legal entity that is not a human being, but for certain purposes is considered by virtue of statute to be a natural person. A corporation is an artificial person for service of process. Here is a hint. That person that is served a summons is an artificial person in the case of a lawsuit, which is a business transaction. Get it? This simply means that the person being served is not a human being. Here's the next line of the same definition. A body of men or company are sometimes called an artificial person because the law associates them as one and gives them various powers possessed by natural persons. Corporations are such artificial persons. In a figurative sense, meaning in an imaginary situation, this is what an artificial person really is and what it means in that context. So the next question is, what is a natural person? If you are in a body of men that considers themselves a citizen of the United States, a body politic such as Russia, France, Canada, Mexico, then you are also considered to be a natural person by the legal definition above and are non-living. So now let's define a natural person in that exact same online legal dictionary source. A real human being. As distinguished from a corporation, which is often treated at law as a fictitious person. Here's another legal definition of natural person from Cornell Law School. Natural person, a living human being. Legal systems can attach rights and duties to natural persons without their express consent. See artificial person. But wait! Don't those two definitions contradict one another? Of course they do. Otherwise, someone would come along and figure out that they are not U.S. citizens. And that would screw everything up for those attorneys and judges that are controlling your minds. You see, they are not controlling the system. Your actions do that for them. Everything is voluntary, so when you partake as a citizen of the United States, you're already in trouble. Still want to be one? That's fine with me. But if you're whining about how intrusive government is in your life, go whine elsewhere, because the government has nothing to do with your votes. It's your fault, stupid. He makes me laugh in this. Before you get mad and throw something at me, let's legally define what a fictitious person is. Person. This is what is shown as a legal definition when fictitious person was input. In general usage, a human being by statute, however, the term can include firms, labor organizations, partnerships, associations, corporations, legal representatives, trustees in bankruptcy, or receivers. A corporation is a person for purposes of the constitutional guarantee of equal protection of laws and due process of law. Foreign governments otherwise eligible to sue in the United States courts are persons entitled to institute a suit for treble damages for alleged antitrust violations under the Clayton Act. Illegitimate children are persons within the meaning of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. The phrase interested person refers to heirs, devisees, children, spouses, creditors, beneficiaries, and any other having a property right in, or a claim against, a trust estate, or the estate of a descendant, ward, or protected person. It also refers to personal representatives and to fiduciaries. West Encyclopedia of American Law, edition 2, all rights reserved. Person, a human being. Second definition, a corporation treated as having the same rights and obligations of a person. Counties and cities can be treated as a person in the same manner as a corporation. However, corporations, counties, and cities cannot have the emotions of humans such as malice, and therefore are not liable for punitive damages. Now, this also goes for if they try to claim that a crime you committed is injuring the state, okay? It is not a human being. So you can't have injured the state. So if they try to, fine you and claim that, oh, but this is causing injury to the state of Texas, you say, okay, well, will Mr. State of Texas come into this courtroom and testify that I've caused him injury? No, right? It's called a victimless crime. Look it up in common law. Anyway, so here we go. The object of legal rights. There are two kinds of legal person. Human beings and artificial persons such as corporations. A partnership in England is not a separate legal person, but in Scotland, it is said to have quasi-personality. So, what does this really mean? These definitions are very confusing to the average man or woman, but not to me. Take a look at what is below on that same page. Person. This word is applied to men, women, and children who are called natural persons. In law, man and person are not exactly synonymous terms. Any human being is a man, whether he be a member of society or not, whatever rank he holds, or whatever may be his age, sex. A person is a man considered according to the rank he holds in society. with all the rights which he places, he holds, entitles him, and the duties which it imposes. It is also used to denote a corporation, which is an artificial person. But when the word persons is spoken of in a legislative act, natural persons will be intended, unless something appear in the context to show that it applies to artificial persons. Natural persons are divided into males or men and females or women. Women are capable of all kinds of engagements and functions, unless by reasons applying to particular individuals. Women cannot be appointed to any public office, nor perform any civil functions, except those which the law specially declares them capable of exercising. Women don't seem to like this part. Again, he cracks me up. They are also sometimes divided into free persons and slaves. Free men are those who have preserved their natural liberty. That is to say, who have the right of doing what is not forbidden by the law. A slave is one who is in the power of a master, to whom he belongs. Slaves are sometimes ranked not with persons but things, but sometimes they are considered as persons. For example, a N-word is in contemplation of law, a person, so as to be capable of committing a riot in conjunction with white men. Okay, so he's quoting this case here. Persons are also divided into citizens and aliens when viewed with regards to their political rights. When they're considered in relation to their civil rights, they are living or civilly dead. Now, I know he's using some politically incorrect language here. Remember, this man is old. Okay, he comes from a time before our time, so, you know, when he wrote this, probably 20 years ago, you know, it was a different world. So anyway, okay, here we go. So persons are also divided into citizens and aliens when viewed with regard to their political rights. They're considered in relation to their civil rights. They're living or civilly dead. Okay, persons are divided into legitimate ambassadors when examined as to their rights by birth. When viewed in their domestic relations, they're divided into parents and children, husbands and wives, guardians and wards, masters and sons, and is understood in law. So not only is this from a different time, but also this is a man who has studied law, written law, for a very long time. How about the definition of a legal person? Well, here it is. Legal person, noun when used in law. An individual, company, or other entity that has legal rights and is subject to obligations. A legal person is legally defined an individual, a company, a group of persons, or some other entity. So this, of course, means that an individual is an entity, a thing that is obviously non-living. Why? Because there's no such thing as a living entity. Entities are intangible things that have no life in them. A living man may control an entity in business transactions, provided the legal name of that entity has been legally and properly registered by that man. So now we're getting into talking about claiming the name. You should begin to see what is going on and how the law only applies to non-living entities, which in turn means those same laws cannot possibly apply to you, the living man controlling that business entity. It is also obvious why there will be blowback from those people who are earning a healthy income and feel threatened by what I'm showing them. I am not the threat, though.